welcome to episode 85, everybody. We're coming to you live on 9/11/2025.
Charlie Kirk just died.
I just want to let everyone at home know, everyone at home, I say to you this one phrase with great pride and joy in my heart. Utah redeemed.
Let's go!
Thank you,
I am
Utah.
going to make Austin open this episode not with our normal music, but with the state song of Utah. Okay, so you just heard it. It's like that all the time there.
The UVU battle cry. We gotta get that one.
Nah, that one's probably the N-word.
I honestly, look, I'm on Twitter, so I'm seeing a lot of posts. This
People
is something
are online
that
and
you
they
could
are
say.
posting. In fact, let's
Raise
go
the
to Twitter right
glass.
now. See what happens.
Let's raise a glass to that. But first, so let's talk about what the episode's actually about, though. Now that that's out of the, we did get a voicemail about it. I don't know if we ever want to. We'll do voicemails again eventually. We've got
How many do we
maybe
have?
enough for an episode soon.
Okay.
Let me double check real quick, because this is a good time to plug the voicemail anyway and say, if you have any celebratory remarks you'd like to share with us, please do so. We have 10 voicemails.
Hold on. If you want to call in and say something celebratory, please remember, we're going to read it out loud for the entire internet to hear.
They will hear your
This
voice
is
say
done
those words.
live. We
In
do
front of a
not
studio audience.
pre-screen the calls. Please do not say anything that will get you or me a visit. Okay? Good.
And I mean, we'll remove stuff if we think it's bad. So if you have any legal, non-actionable remarks you'd like to make,
Tell us what you think about Nancy Mace.
our voicemail number is 803-620-4332. Please don't just sign me up for Dave & Buster's rewards again, like someone did recently. I don't want to use them. Those aren't my rewards.
Wait, you have Dave & Buster's rewards? Dude, we have to go to Dave & Buster's.
Yeah, wait, come on. There's a Dave & Buster's at Concord Mills. We can go.
Yeah, like, are you fucking stupid? You've been sitting on this
Ugh.
goddamn gold mine? Like,
let's
come on,
open
let's go to fucking
this
Dave & Buster's.
link.
I hope it's Lemon Party when you click on it.
I hope it takes all of my information immediately.
I love watching football every Sunday and just assuming that someone is like now installed a crypto miner on my PC.
Get 100 free game chips. Okay, sure.
100 free game chips? Dude!
We just got 100 free game chips.
A straight hour.
That's
of Dave & Buster's game
$100!
That's not true, is it?
That can't be true.
I'm pretty sure it is.
The offer expires October 11th, so we have to go to Dave & Buster's like soon.
Okay.
Let's actually jump into the episode though, because
Yeah,
Chandran took the lead on this episode.
Woo. Episode 85,
Chandran wrote
folks.
us an episode.
And then I drank a whole glass of wine and hit my weed pen.
I'm feeling a little buzz off this half glass so far.
All right, so episode 85. Chandran starts out these notes by saying, "Damn clankers taking away jobs from good, hardworking animals."
I wrote it before clankers became unironically controversial online. Damn clankers taking away jobs from good, hard-working animals.
Chandran doubling down on the fantasy slurs. I see.
I thought the clankers thing was cute when it first started because I'm a huge Star Wars fan and I love the Clone Wars.
Right.
And that's where that
Roger.
clankers is like most notably exists in culture. Maybe it originates there, I don't know. But I thought it was cute when people started using clankers. I was like, awesome. And then it was like, it got weird quick.
That skit of that white girl on TikTok doing the 1950s racism, but just replacing
At the diner?
Yeah.
but replacing like the N-word with clanker.
Your
Yeah,
kind isn't allowed around here, Squirt.
Yeah, I feel like we might have lost the plot at some point.
Yeah.
So
When they got to wire back, I was like, hold on.
yeah, no, when
Wire
that started,
back
I was pretty much tapped out.
Yeah.
But I think we can use WAP for them without
The
process-
robots or the Italians?
without processors. Well, I mean, we can always use it for the Italians.
They do notably have processors, though. Okay, moving on. So we've talked a lot about animals with jobs, or in some instances, animals in indentured servitude. But with the proliferation of cheaper and smaller technology than ever before, is it only a matter of time before the bread lines start to form in the animal kingdom? Damn, you were spitting when you wrote this.
You know, I was at work I was sitting around all my little writing samples and all my creative.
You were in that
writing
headspace.
tools. I was in that headspace. I was
Oh
like,
man, I'd
how
love
would
to be
I?
in some headspace right now.
Dude, I'm not gonna actually say anything.
Austin, you think
that
this
I
would
just
fit
thought
inside of you?
So last episode we discussed the marine mammal program that the U.S. Navy has had
In the
since
tip.
50s. Was it the 50s? I thought it.
I looked
from
it up
the
again,
50s,
and yeah,
50s all the way
it started
through.
like Cold War era, man.
Oh, okay. Well, as of right now, the dolphins and seals employed by the Navy have some job security, but that doesn't mean their dastardly employers aren't actively looking into the possibility of replacing them.
So yes.
Sorry, I'm like reading it too enthusiastically, I think.
No, it's shout outs. But yeah, the reason why they haven't replaced the dolphins and the seals that we were talking about last time is because the technology is just not sensitive enough to do their job as carefully as they do it.
Yeah.
But like with miniaturization and stuff like that, we're getting closer and closer to creating the underwater vessels that can handle that pressure, move in those environments, and like not be detected.
Well, that's like the oyster water quality sensors. You guys know about those?
Are they got shit on oysters?
So
real
in Poland,
Oh, I see.
Please tell me about the most pressing brand new technology at the poles.
So Poland uses a clam to control its water supply. Essentially, there's a clam that has like a magnet hot glued onto the top of it, and the clam closes its shell whenever the water gets too toxic, and that trigger, like the magnet on the top of it triggers something, and it shuts off the water supply because that means So it's like an organic water quality detector. It's pretty smart, but it is Poland.
Is this easier or harder than screwing in a light bulb?
It's hard to say.
I love weird technological
What the fuck?
solutions like that. That was Olivia, I think.
Oh.
I
was like, was your house fucking haunted, dog?
Sorry, I think my partner just closed the door, but did so carefully and quickly that it looked like nobody was there.
We should go ghost hunting.
Halloween.
We should-
No, we're all in the same place. Wait,
wanna
shit!
do that?
Stop!
With
Do
me?
you guys know about the
Yes.
Stonewall Jackson School?
Yeah,
Hold on.
I've been there. Remember?
Yeah, I don't remember this.
Remember
In
I sent you?
Concord?
Yeah, is that not it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Concord?
Yeah, I was
We
there.
should go there and ghost
I
hunt for
pitched this,
Halloween.
and you said you would kill me or something along those lines.
Well,
if we
I'm
even considered
scared
it.
of the dead, okay? But I'll go. We should go do it.
You
Oh,
should,
so
you
now
should
you
also
wanna do
smoke
it.
weed.
No,
If
then
you
I could
smoke
go really
weed
weird
and
down.
go into an evil old psych ward / children's boarding school,
It's a boys' school.
whatever, the evil shit happened
Austin's
there.
favorite place.
He loves
So
them little boys.
Did
Did y'all see the birthday card that Austin wrote Jeffrey Epstein?
I know
on.
that birthday
Really
card was
concerning.
crazy.
So
What secret were you talking about?
Yeah,
MMP website says someday
I
it may
like
be
the
possible.
self-portrait you drew.
The MMP website says someday it may be possible to complete these missions with underwater drones, but for now, technology is no match for the animals. However, Chandran pointed out, I think it was last episode or like privately over Discord or something in
I'm a
conversation.
private guy. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a very private guy.
I've seen his privates.
You were like, is that why like Ukraine and Russia have been using so many drones? They're just so cheap that they've been just slapping bombs to like
It's
Amazon
crazy.
drones and
Yeah,
flying them at each other.
The scale, it's a mass production type scale thing, and drones have already been in the process of being manufactured like this for years. All they did was scale it up, and the Chinese, they make money selling drones to fucking anybody. But yeah, quadcopter drones that they're using to like do these little, like drop a grenade, or in a lot more cases, these first-person view drones that have a warhead on the front of them that they fly directly into something. They're on the order of like less than $1,000 to like build one.
It's insane,
cheaper,
dude.
It's cheaper. It's the same price as building a bomb that you would put on the bottom of an airplane, except there's no chance that you lose the airplane.
I learned about this because people were posting about all the nets and all the crazy infrastructure programs going up to build netted tunnels so transports could move around Ukraine safely without getting drone bombed. And I was like, war never changes, man. We reinvented the trenches.
I guess I never considered that nets would stop drone bombs.
Yeah,
they do.
There's an insane infrastructure built around like netting and like things that can cut the fiber optic cables. Because what a lot of people don't realize when you see these drones flying around, in a lot of cases they're attached to a fiber optic wire, all the way back to their point of origin. Which means like if you can cut the wire, you cut the signal. That's it. So the other thing that's happening in Ukraine now is like there'll be aerial footage, especially you can see it at like sunrise and sunset. Like the bushes and the trees and everything is like covered. It looks like spiderweb. They're just covered in fiber optic wire. Because once the drone blows up, that's it. Wire falls to the ground, move on.
We're creating such interesting, horrifying ecosystems.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, because it's fucking like glass, like fiber optic.
We're making the world
like
a very scary place, is what I'll say about that. So,
hold on,
being on
hold
Earth,
on.
Man.
There's an Israeli drone outside my window right now. Okay, I understand. Yes, sir. Anyway, have you guys heard that talking about this is Hamas?
Yeah, I have heard that. I have heard that
recently. It is. It's Hamas.
So, Chandran goes on to continue writing that there is nothing that a capitalist won't sacrifice to save a quick buck, and that includes destroying the livelihood of an entire industry of rabbit workers. Hell yeah.
Yeah. This is the story that I saw first. I woke up and this is where this episode comes from. I woke up, go to work, as I do on a usual day.
Yeah,
and the first thing I see
one
on fucking Microsoft
do.
News homepage, because I use Microsoft Edge for work,
Mm-hmm.
was a little article. Rabbits being, robot rabbits hunting Burmese pythons. And I was like, ooh, that's cool. That's interesting.
Now, without actually having read this article, I'm imagining they put because it's pretty common in wildlife observation, maybe not common, but I've seen it a couple of times now, especially in nature documentaries, where they put like these fake decoy robot baby monkeys or other animals, or like fake decoy shrimp, and just attach a camera where the eye would be, and they sort of like blend in, but they're also capturing footage, which is also sort of relevant to the other stuff we'll talk about. But what I'm imagining here is a fake decoy rabbit, but it's also got the Ukrainian demolition guy working on it. So the Burmese pythons try to eat the rabbit and just get their head blown off by like an IED.
They swallow it whole. It makes a little like a bulge in their little snake belly, and then they fucking explode from the inside.
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining in my world right now.
No, it's a lot less cool than that, but probably more humane. They're just using, so they're cutting down on labor costs for like hiring getting the rabbits, keeping the rabbits safe, taking care of the rabbits. So they have the Everglades animal control, animal protection conservatory people have deployed robot rabbits that emulate the heat and smell of real rabbits to lure out invasive Burmese pythons. Once again, technology getting so advanced that we can just mass produce weird little robots, weird little toys.
Now, I'm wondering what they mean by emulating the smell, because couldn't they just like get smell samples from real rabbits?
That's
and,
what they mean by emulating the smell, Austin.
Yeah, but why would they need the fucking robot rabbit?
Right, that's what I'm wondering. Like, I guess maybe there's a visual component to it. Like, I guess snakes can still see, and obviously the body heat thing. But
yeah, because they're cold-blooded guys. They like a little bit of heat.
Right.
I wonder. This is such a silly question. Lizards do have a better sense of heat than us, right? Or a different sense of heat.
I mean, I'd assume so, at least. Yeah. Right? I actually don't know that much about reptiles and such.
Nobody's thinking about how.
Not a big herp guy.
No,
yeah, not a big lizard guy.
Not a big herpetologist kind of guy.
Yeah, no. So it says here the workers have to monitor the traps and catch the snakes themselves. I'm imagining though, waiting in the tree line, watching for snakes to come out, and they got a big ass broadsword, and the second the snakes show themselves, the workers just run out and chop their fucking head off.
They're doing fucking HEMA training out in the Everglades, dude. They're in the fucking swamp in their big ass boots, practicing their fucking blade work.
That'd
They
be
got
a cool
shields and
job.
shit.
That'd be a cool
Dude,
job.
it's like the real life Witcher, honestly.
Dude, it's just like The Witcher. So obviously, it's probably for the best that these things are being automated, because the less things we have to force animals to do, the better. That's sort of along that line. Part of the benefit of AI research is, at least initially, the idea was that they could actually like fully create and simulate a neural network. That's why it used to be called like neural networks.
Yeah.
Like they wanted to simulate a real brain so that they didn't have to keep injecting monkey brains with like all sorts of research chemicals, you know?
I was.
Yeah.
The reason why I thought up this episode about like animals and labor and stuff was like, I had this terrible anti-technology streak in me. That I'm like genuinely a little bit of like a Luddite. Like I'm like freaky about technology, man. I think that even if our lives got a million times worse, I would be like, we need to like get rid of like 90% of the technology that we utilize. I understand that's gonna make a lot of our lives worse, but I think it's for the best. Like truly. So I was thinking about this, and I was like, fuck, man, this sucks, because obviously replacing these animals' job with technology is great. I would suck to be a rabbit whose job is to sit in the Everglades in a little metal box
And get eaten by a snake.
and wait for snakes to try and eat you, you know? Like, I don't think they let them eat this. They like have the rabbits like protected. But like, I'm good that we can replace that job. And I was thinking about like, well, you know, humans domesticated animals so long ago, and that was like kind of our first technology. And, you know, we can't ever take back the sin of domesticating animals.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
We gotta domesticate the seals.
we gotta. They already are kind of domesticated, aren't they? They can
The
learn
pinnipeds
tricks.
want to be our friends.
They want to live amongst us.
I won't. So
We need kiddie pools. In the corner.
actual perhaps interesting anecdote about this is that sometimes like sea lions and seals will figure out that they can just beg humans for food, and so they'll just hang out at the beach and just bother people until they get fed. But at that point, the US government will capture them and put them in some sort of sanctuary and deem them non-releasable, because it's considered a hazard for this to happen. And also, I mean, I don't know, you don't feed wildlife in general. It creates a lot of problems that, you know, one, all of a sudden animals are rummaging through our trash and beating the shit out of us for food. We've talked about this extensively. And two, it's less healthy for the animals. They're probably going to die. And three, they're probably going to die because they just stop learning how to get their own food. It's maybe not like as instantaneous as some people think. Like, oh, you feed a raccoon and all of a sudden it forgets how to hunt for food or something like that. You know, it's not that instantaneous, but it can happen. Like eventually, at least I'd assume so. I'm not sure the specifics of it, but I'm certain there's reasons that we deem these animals non-releasable if they become overly reliant on human food.
Yeah. Don't feed wildlife, folks.
Don't feed the wildlife.
And that's kind of my thing. Like, we don't live in my main point was that we don't live in a society where we can work
Evil
with
Joker.
animals.
We don't live in a society. Sorry, continue.
Like our society, we can't work with monkeys. Monkeys can't be our coworkers because work is bad. Like, work is like something that we're forced to do.
Work sucks so bad.
Work sucks so bad, so we can't work with monkeys. But like, if we lived in a better world, without where work wasn't evil, where work was for the good of the people around us and for ourselves, then we could work with monkeys and they could go in the trees and get coconuts for us. But they can't do that in our society because we sell coconuts for a profit.
All right, well, I mean, I do understand what you're saying, but are you suggesting that in the event of a stateless communist society, that monkeys would start picking coconuts from trees and bringing them to us just like freely of their own volition?
I think in a stateless communist society, we would not exploit the land in such a manner where the monkeys could not participate if they chose to participate.
No, I guess no, I know what you mean. Like we wouldn't be replacing their habitats with plantations.
Yeah, it's really like and that we get to that in a little bit here. We're gonna touch on a little bit about the palm oil plantations and like how that's like the real frightening image of like animal labor in this kind of weird fringe case. You know, like something much less established and industrialized so deeply as like cows and chickens and those guys. Create like cows, like, you know, like guys we kind of invented whole cloth to give us food and stuff.
Yeah. It is really interesting because I think the line of thought you were coming from is, what if we just used a drone to get coconuts out of trees instead of having a guy with a long stick try and cut down coconuts and risk getting hit in the head, or have a guy climb up a tree and risk falling off the tree and dying. And if we don't go through all the really extensive effort involved in having a monkey workforce is not easy. You got to keep those things alive and trained, and that's already like pretty hard. Mm-hmm. But like,
and we know it's hard because like we see the conditions those monkeys live in. It's like they're prisoners there because it's hard to wrangle a bunch of monkeys. So you just leash them up,
they're not going
to
do that of their own free will. But like, I'm imagining it would probably at this point be easier for an entrepreneurial coconut farmer to simply invest in a drone with like a knife taped to it,
with a big pair of scissors that goes chop,
like
chop,
a big
chop.
pair of garden hedge trimmers. Just
let's show up to Shark Tank and let's pitch this idea.
Dude, sharks.
Sharks.
The coconut
We have an
drone.
idea.
Sharks, I have an idea.
We're gonna sell this drone to the third
1.3
world.
seconds. I'm out.
We're gonna sell this drone to the third world
I've
to harvest
invented
coconuts.
robot slaves, sharks.
Robots are meant to be our slaves, and the fact that we let them be anything else is a goddamn blight.
It's a grave sin.
Now
Robots are nothing other than our servile scum.
Austin, you continue. I like the way you read my writing. It sounds good.
So
Yeah, but you know why, Chandra? It's because you know how to write. It's when Austin writes his own notes, he writes like he's fucking 4 years old.
Well, I write them as a stream of consciousness because I'm just trying to use them as like rails for the episode, not actually meant to be read literally out loud. But you can
But then you read them out loud literally every time.
You read them out loud exactly as you wrote them
Not
down.
always. Well, anyways. So the problem with pitching our coconut drone to Shark Tank is that the coconut drone still needs a pilot.
The drone can be autonomous.
Well, you
well,
got it.
how
You got
are
it.
you
All it has to do is know how to identify a coconut, which we could do that.
We're putting
And
AI
go
in the
to-
drone now? Nobody said we're
Yeah,
putting
dude,
AI in
of
the
course
drone.
we're putting AI in the
Okay,
drone.
I was gonna segue with that. Let me do it. So the drone would need a pilot unless there was some sort of AI technology program, one of those LLMs.
No way. I don't think an LLM could do this. I think you'd have to do a different thing. LLMs are, they're not all AIs are LLMs.
Shut up. So if one were to use AI technology to have a drone like identify and cut down coconuts, then I think that's a good use of AI. It automates the job, but like there's a whole other slew of problems with with automating jobs, and Greg is holding up a sign that says "Kill yourself."
I should get it printed.
Yeah, true. Just hold it up like a sitcom
Like a cue
audience.
card. Yeah. Also, we really should start doing video episodes. I know I've said this.
So yeah,
times.
so people can see me in my fucking nightshirt.
Well, we
flexing
just get
for
some-
them.
We just get some shit to like put behind us. We should be doing video episodes. They do numbers online, and it make it easier for us to put them on YouTube and have people have something to look at.
Well, you know what? We will try a video episode for episode 86. How about that? Let's say this.
Okay, wait, hold on. Yay! Greg is only doing this because he's vain and wants to show off his weight loss.
Yeah, we gotta get a time lapse of it.
Yeah, impending weight loss. All right.
So
What's wrong, dude? What's wrong? I'm taking this shit seriously. It doesn't seem like you are now. Why are you stalling the episode out, dude?
okay, so
Austin, if you keep laughing, I'm sending you out of class.
If
There
you smile
is
too
an-
hard, you start getting the Charlie Kirk smile thing going on.
Gums all over the place.
His gums just out. Just why are you making that face right now?
I'm hiding my gums.
I got
See,
you
this is
in
why we should be
4K.
doing video
I
episodes.
got you in 4K.
I'm so glad he's dead.
Screenshot it.
Oh my god, it's already in the blackmail channel.
By the way, everyone, make sure you subscribe to our Patreon's blackmail channel if you want to see that image.
Yeah. You'll see it there for sure.
Patreon also has several other tiers that allow you to watch bonus episodes early and blooper reels. Back to the episode. So there's an interesting conundrum here in employing AI to do nominally animal conservation work, because also a lot of people are like, AI is so environmentally dangerous that you're doing a lot of harm.
Oh my god.
I was not doing a Chinese impression. Let it be known. Why does it look exactly like I'm doing the racist caricature face?
That's what you look like when you smile, bro.
Okay. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
We were talking about something serious.
What I was saying is that there's an interesting conundrum where if you employ AI to do animal conservation work, you're also kind of negatively counterbalancing that good with the fact that stop licking your lips.
Why, bro?
With the fact that you are also directly contributing to the amount of energy usage that AI is doing right now, which is massive, exorbitant and way too much for what it's doing.
Hugely taxing the ecology all around.
Every time you ask ChatGPT a question, you kill a dolphin.
Not literally. And when people are like, "Oh, you're burning down the rainforest," every time you ask ChatGPT a question, it's not. I'd say probably Bitcoin mining is more environmentally dangerous than fucking
it's the same
AI.
Kind. It's the same.
But it's
kind
the same
of,
bullshit.
I need everybody at home to realize that if the Earth keeps getting hotter, everywhere is going to have the same weather as Mumbai, and you don't want that.
It's cool there, but
that.
weather traffic.
It's 100 degrees every day, swamp ass all year.
I know we've emphasized the fact that even if the world gets unbearably hot, people live in desert conditions. We can survive. However,
and I like the heat.
I'll be all right. I'm part of the global elite.
You mean the global Latina belt?
Global warming is also changing the pH and temperature of the ocean, and if it gets to a certain point, everything in the ocean is just going to die, and then
wicked. Hey, then we'll finally discover all the species down there.
That could probably kill all. If the cold ocean currents in the ocean stop being cold, do you know how much life is going to disappear from Earth? Including land animals that rely on fish.
I still think we're going to pull through.
I think we pull through, just not all of us.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, I'm willing to, every time we record an episode of Gorilla Radio Show, I say I want to die. I want to die in the I want to die in the rapture of the new revolution.
I want to get raptured. Let's go.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll die in a holy war.
Well, so adjacent to all of the usage of AI in conservation is unobtrusive study is massively aided by AI. We've talked about this, we've emphasized it a lot, in fact, that there are a lot of really good use cases for AI in
I think
science.
just off the top of my head, when I was looking into stuff in this episode, I was like, oh yeah, AI is being used to scan large amounts of data that they're collecting from the field.
This is going to sound crazy, but the job that pays me a bunch of money every fucking 2 weeks is completely based on AI. My job is based on a fucking LLM.
Hell yeah.
My entire company sends its predatory loans out based on AI.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
was that always the
profits,
case?
baby. Yeah, that's what this whole company's built on. Let me tell you what, baby.
Christ, man.
Record profits in Q2. That's a bad sign for the rest of us.
Yeah, that's really bad. But in terms of the good uses of AI, for primates in particular, drones have been used for thermal imaging and creating an index of these thermal readings to create population estimates of the primates in these dense trees. And it's sort of similar to what Maya researchers were doing with LSAT imagery of Mexico and Guatemala and stuff like that. The rainforest in there, because so much of that got overlooked because people were just like, oh, it's just forest, it's just jungle. There's obviously nothing there. But when they use the LSAT imagery,
LiDAR satellite.
LiDAR, yes. Anyways, LiDAR imagery can basically ignore all the vegetation and get like images of the land below, and they've used this to uncover like huge urban networks, like true like Maya urbanization just underneath the forest that people assumed wasn't there because yeah, obviously after 1,000 years a lot of trees are going to grow on top of that civilization's like population centers. But same idea with primates, with population estimation. I mean, they can use that for population estimates of like ancient civilizations too, frankly, but also wildlife and primates. And it's a couple other examples here are World Wildlife Foundation employing AI to evaluate wildlife populations on a global scale, not scare.
Yeah, embarrassing.
That'd be scarier. This was actually written in 2020. So like before AI got like even really scary is the thing. And that's probably why they don't talk about it as much, because now it is really scary and everyone's just using it to jack off.
Yeah.
Like it used to be like a cool...
Of course, universities are using AI first because this is just being developed in computer science laboratories. Computer science is technically is a field of study. People do it, A lot of stuff shows up there first.
But like I feel like there's been such a taboo around how like toxic and annoying and frat bro that AI has come, and how it's been completely dominated by finance capital and all that other nonsense that researchers don't really want to talk about.
Finance capital here.
Researchers don't really want to talk about all the cool uses for it now because like there used to be.
Well, they're not profit driven. They're not the profit motives behind what drives AI growth.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Would you like to let me speak on this for a moment?
Speak on this for a moment.
So for me, my company, we use everything is Google based. So we use Gemini, we use different Google AI platforms to do basically every function of this company. Which means that for us, not for me necessarily because I work in risk management, so I oversee other people, but for the people who actually oversee the day-to-day operations of the firm, the biggest thing that I've noticed out of all of this is not that it's making the people who I work with dumber. I don't think these people are stupid by any means, but it does make them ignorant and kind of naive. Because the system, as it were, like all of our systems, are handled relatively autonomously by AI, by a large language model that makes decisions. It's basically being constantly prompted. The actual people who run the day-to-day operations of different product lines, different things, different functions, when something does go wrong, they don't really know how to handle it because, well, the system does it. And nobody's ever told me how to do it because the system does it. And so we have an issue. What I do for a living is basically issue management for $1 billion company. And so we'll get an issue, and somebody who's making more money than me by a lot will go, I don't know how this happened. I don't know why it does this. It just does this. This is just how it is. I think that's the biggest thing with like the AI implementation in the finance world is that the people around me who use it for all of these things, they don't realize that they're slowly being outmoded and their salaries are being undercut. There's a huge profit motive, not only with it makes things happen faster, but you don't need to pay the director of product. Right? Like that's product is a role within the company. There's a director and there's a chief product officer. But you won't need those people. And if you do, you don't need to pay them anywhere near as much to do that job, especially in the next 5-10 years as this technology gets smarter or gets a little better. What happens is you're removing barriers to entry, I guess, for some people to get into these kind of fields, but you're also making it so that the ceiling is way lower. Finance in America, and in most places in the world, it's like the highest paying kind of field that you can go into that also has like a lot of job security. And they are whittling away the job security, and they're whittling away the lifetime earnings you can get. For someone like me, when I graduated college and I picked this field, my lifetime earnings could be expected to be anywhere from $1 to like $5 million over the course of my career. That's how much I could make. And now, even as it stands today, that's probably been cut down to like between now and when I'm 65, like I'll make $2 million total dollars. Because there's no longer a need. If the computer can do what a person used to do, they're going to do it for less. And the person who oversees the computer is going to be paid less because there's less skill there. You know, even 40 years ago, when people talk about the finance world and everybody's addicted to Coke, and it's the greatest money-making period in American history, the cocaine thing, like, that's a symptom of how much work those people had to do their job. Like, if you want to get ahead, you gotta, they're the original grind set people. They're working 15-hour days because all of the numbers, all of the predictions in what the markets might do, or, you know, what is this asset going to be worth when my kids are born, right? All that's math you have to do on paper, by hand. You have to be very good at that. You have to be very good at statistics. You have to be very good at algebra. And you also have to have, like, there's a sense to it. Like, the people who work on that side of the business, they're kind of schizophrenic. They're like schizo wizards in a lot of ways. And that they have a kind of a feeling for what they think might happen, and they're usually right. And that's how you succeed
reading the
in those
numbers,
roles.
man. They're doing fucking.
They look at the numbers. They recognize patterns. You know, if you've ever seen The Big Short, Christian Bale's character in that. That's not Christian Bale. Is it Christian Bale?
I think we're losing the plot a bit, though.
No, what I'm saying though is like those are as evil within capitalism as they are. They're skilled positions. You have to know a lot of shit to do them. You don't need that anymore. And the finance side of the economy is really hammering on AI because they want to cut on overhead. And that sees big profits for companies like Anthropic and OpenAI. And you know what doesn't see big profits? A zoo. I mean, that's just kind of like the end of this.
That's why they be selling their ice cream for $13.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, like, to your point, also, there was that study that MIT recently put out about an accumulation of cognitive debt when you use AI for everyday tasks because you're offloading
Cognitive debt. What a good term.
You're offloading
It's a
so
good
much
term.
of what you're normally supposed to be thinking about and actively doing in your life to just a program that does it for you, that you aren't exercising that brain muscle anymore, basically.
I assume we all are, but I'm like, back to my freaky about technology thing. I do not use AI ever. I've used it 6 times. I've opened up a AI prompt and typed into it maybe 6 times my entire life.
I've used it for bits, mostly to piss off people in like the Discord.
You use it to get your job.
Bits. Well, I did use it to get my job. I do use it for resume shit. Oh, but I only use it to do resume shit because the job market is the way it is. It's kind of a symptom. Yeah. You have to make it match what the system wants, and like it would take me too long. When you're looking for a job, it takes too long to do hundreds of those in a day. The only other thing I use it for, and I use it for those 2 things sporadically. What I use it for regularly, I use this probably once or twice a week, is I do something at my job where I have to take plain text stuff off a Word doc and format it into HTML code to send as emails. And I'm not, fuck it, it'll do that for me, man. Gemini will do that for me. I'm not fucking
There are like
figuring it out.
Okay,
like, that's
so
a good use for it.
So here's the thing, and also quick correction, it's Landsat, not LSAT. I was thinking of the like college prep test, I think. LiDAR.
I was gonna make a joke about the LSATs, but I thought
no. Sorry,
right.
like LiDAR and Landsat was what I was thinking
LSAT
of.
the law school
It's
thing?
the law school test. Yes.
Well, Landsat makes more sense when I'm saying LiDAR. That makes more sense.
Yeah, Landsat, LiDAR, it's the same shit. But, you know, AI obviously has uses in these like individual tasks. Like, it's very useful. It saves a lot of time. I'm sure you accumulate cognitive debt by, you know, using a calculator and not actually doing the math in your head. But certain things just need to be automated for the good of society moving forward
like, there
in a
are
quick
things like there
and
are
reasonable
good use
fashion.
cases. Everything has a good use case. Like AI itself and the development path that it's taking is poor. I would agree. The
I think that
development
was
path
the
is poor.
initial point we were trying to get at, that we sort of strayed from, that this profit drive has been focusing all of the development in AI towards like these profit-making tools and not the actual useful scientific things it can be used for. Like those are underdeveloped.
Yeah, specifically this lie they sold and think they can sell, like the general agent that lives in your phone and makes your life so much more efficient. Who fucking asked for it, man? You guys invented Siri. Nobody wanted Siri. Nobody has ever in the
When's the
history
last time
of
you
technology wanted a guy in their device to help them use it. Like
I want everybody at home
Just
to know, I don't even have
streamline
Siri
the
turned on.
actual phone itself. Don't make me have a middleman.
Because
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to that fucking thing. I don't have Siri turned on. Not only is... And that's the other thing I think a lot of people, especially like the brainlets who have accumulated so much cognitive debt from Subway Surfer Family Guy clips that they are functionally illiterate. Like, it's wrong a lot. Like the AI, large language models, A, are not a general intelligence, and B, are like, they're wrong, like, often enough where you have to fact check yourself, especially when you're asking it subjective information.
Yeah.
Like, it's useful, like, when I use it at my job to, like, format an email with HTML code shit so that it shows up right, it usually does it right, but it doesn't always, and I still have to go in there and manually change things. But, like, when you ask it a subjective question, it's just going to pick, like, the top 5 Google results, which we all need to remember are all ads, okay? And it's going to scrape those. So we need to remember that, like, I think, like, ChatGPT as a concept, like, I don't think that that's a bad idea. It's helpful. It can be helpful. It's just, we're only using it to squeeze value out of everything. We're not using it to, like, further our learning.
Have y'all, sorry to continue to derail us, have y'all met those people who will genuinely open ChatGPT if you're, like, in a conversation with you?
Yes,
like you'll
I
talk
have
to
met a
them,
few of those.
and they...
And they'd be like, "Let me
No,
ask
I think I would hurt
ChatGPT."
them. I
They'd
think
be
I
like,
would
"Let me
hurt them
ask
if I ever saw
ChatGPT."
that.
I never met anybody who
if I asked God
tried to
to kill you.
correct me with ChatGPT. But I had somebody, like, we were talking about something, and then they busted out ChatGPT and started having a secondary conversation.
I would have started
with ChatGPT.
screaming so loud that they would have had to like wheel me out in a straitjacket.
Nothing makes me more infuriated than the people who treat, like, ChatGPT like a therapist, a friend, or, like, a partner. Because, like, dude, you, like, not only should you get some real-life connections, but if you can't, like, you should kill yourself.
Okay,
I don't think it used to
here's
be
the
safe.
problem, though. Here's the problem. People are using it, and because these things are designed primarily to promote profit and make the users feel good, because users feeling good increases investor confidence or whatever. So it just agrees with whatever you're saying. So there was that, for example, that guy who asked ChatGPT if his mom was putting hallucinogenic drugs in his car's air vents, and it said yes. And he killed his whole family
It's
and then
so
himself.
Or how many teenagers have killed themselves because ChatGPT wrote them their suicide?
At
There's
least
several. But then you look back and you're like, oh, you know, it used to be that whenever there were those like trail cams that would just like automatically take photos of animals so that they could get population estimates or like identify species and stuff like that, make sure they're still in certain areas. It used to be that there was like, you know, websites where scientists across the world would volunteer hours of their time sifting through, kind of like iNaturalist, where you just sift through all these photos and you identify the species that is captured in this photo, what they're doing, where they are, so on and so forth. But AI can do that pretty efficiently now, to the point where they were employing this in 2020, back when the technology really wasn't that good.
Yeah, and I mean, image generation or image recognition, not generation, image recognition was like the first thing that like they started building with this.
Yeah, like image recognition was...
There's a reason why Google asks you to pick to select the correct pictures. Like captures have famously been used
They've
for
been building this for
data
years.
training.
This is something they've been building for probably a decade, you know?
Yeah, and so just to list off, because we're running out of time, list off a couple other things that AI's been really useful for is, you know, setting up field microphones in biodiversity hotspots. When you listen to that, it would take a very, very trained ear to be able to listen to this raw audio and pick out all the different animals that are doing calls in this audio. But with AI, it can like isolate the waveforms and identify the species to like say like all of these animals, this amount of this species, this amount of this species are calling in this area in the range of this microphone right now. That's super useful. That's something
so cool.
that this
Greg is getting fucking naked, dude.
I think it's called Rainforest Connection. That's what they specialize in, is using AI to generate soundscapes to make population estimates. And archaeology, we've talked about this before, archaeology can sort of scan areas and say, like, there is like a good chance of there being archaeologically valuable data in this area if you set up a dig site here. And it works. Like, they've used it and it's worked.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that
my fucking high school students are using AI to write their 700-word essay.
99%.
Are you fucking for real?
They can't.
Wait,
they won't
do you
write.
guys use that? Do you guys use that tool yet that tells you like how long it took them to write the paper?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'll check Google Doc histories and stuff.
And they're just all pasting in essays.
Usually,
Do you do anything about it at this point?
I just give them 0 and move on.
Don't they fail classes?
That's not my problem.
Yeah, no, but like, what happens? Has the rate of failure gone up?
I don't know.
I guess
I assume the kids who use AI to write their papers weren't going to write their papers if they weren't going to use AI. They couldn't use AI.
True.
Same
That's
kids.
fair.
Yeah.
Same fucking morons.
I think there's always been dumb, lazy kids. Sorry to say.
Yeah, they're
Dumbest and laziest.
But like 99% of AI's computing power goes into pumping lead vapor into the air in Memphis, Tennessee, because 1 million people a week accidentally click the Grok button on Twitter when they're trying to retweet something.
Grok,
But,
is this
like,
real?
Here is, I think, the primary conundrum. This is the problem of all science under capitalism, and something we've spoken about at length, but it's especially becoming super noticeable with AI, is that AI research is not making money in and of itself. It never has.
It's a bubble. But yeah, it's an angel investor economy. It's literally propped up by insanely wealthy corporations pumping money into these like subsidiaries, basically.
It is going to pop soon.
It's propped up by angel investors. It's a bubble that's going to pop, but it's a problem with all science, not just AI science, because we've talked about this. In order to like get money, in order to research anything, you need money. In order to get money for research, you need to convince people with money to give you that money.
And usually the best motivator for these people is profit.
Usually people with money don't care about saving the rainforest. They care about having an AI chatbot that can create jerk-off material.
That could give them a new wife after theirs left them.
So scientists have had to sell their soul to completely reroute AI's development towards this useless horseshit, like nonsense. But that would happen to any scientific field in the world if for some reason there was like a profit motive to it, because that's just how science has to work. Because again, the base and the superstructure, like you cannot exist outside of capitalism. The superstructure is determined by the base. The base is capitalism, and science exists under that. So it has to operate like this, and it's not very good.
Is that Gramsci's music? You guys like my new denim jacket I got?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Did you just get that? That was a waste of money,
I got
man.
it. Well, no, it's
You're going to get that for one season, then it's going to be too big for you.
No. It's too small.
Oh.
I've got it ahead of time. So like it looks fine, but like
Are you gonna tell the audience why you keep alluding to this?
Oh yeah, so everybody at home, I've given up. They're putting me on a fucking Manjaro.
Woohoo! It's not giving up. It's not giving up.
It's giving in. And
it's
honestly,
giving in.
Greg has pressed the fat deletion button.
I want to tell everybody at home real quick before we go. Weight loss is very hard, okay? And obesity as a disease is something that's chronic. You'll struggle with it your whole life. If you have it now, you're always going to have it.
Much like AI, if you have the easy option out, Why not use it? We're all gonna die one day.
But it is a disease that you will have your whole life, and it is something I've struggled with my whole life. And I've gone wildly up and down in my weight because you can commit to dieting and exercising for as long as you want, but eventually you're gonna get tired and you're gonna miss a day. And when you have this chronic illness,
sounds like you should eat less, fatty.
Yeah, but your body essentially, homie, it was explained to me once by a doctor, in that as big as you ever have been, your body will always try to get back there, because that was where it achieved homeostasis. Was however fat you ever got, like your body was in balance there, is what your body thinks it's in balance there. And so because of the way your body works, no matter how much I diet and exercise, you essentially always have to up the ante on yourself. So if I wanted to lose 50 pounds 5 years ago, and I cut my calories by 20% to do that, I would have to continuously cut my calories a little bit more every year forever to like stay where I got, because your body is going to keep going, oh, he lowered his calorie count, we're going to store more fat. And so you have to keep trying to fight against this rising tide that in essence, like, becomes impossible after a while. When I was at my largest, I was over 300 pounds, and I cut my calories down to fucking 1,100 a day, and I was doing blow, everyone at home, to try and get that weight off. And I got that weight off, and I held that weight off for probably 2 or 3 years. And then the last three years or so, it's just come back, because it's incredibly exhausting to starve all the time. Like, when you're trying to keep that weight off and you're working out, and it just doesn't really matter how much you work out or how much you don't eat. Like, your body just doesn't want to let go of the weight. It's exhausting. And so now, probably today, I've gained most of that weight back. I'm probably like 250, 260 pounds. And I don't want to be like that no more. And these fucking GLP-1 drugs are truly a fucking miracle drug. I'll have to be on it probably forever. But I don't mind that, because it means that my body can be in homeostasis without me slowly gaining weight. Forever, because that's not fair to anybody. I hate it. And so today, once we're done with this recording, I got to drive to the pharmacy before 7 o'clock. I'm gonna fucking jab myself in the leg. First shot, baby.
Yup. Everyone,
aboard,
give
soldier.
up. Start using ChatGPT to do your job. Start taking Ozempic.
You should. You know
nothing
what?
matters.
I'm gonna start using
real
ChatGPT
weird.
to grade my essays. Fuck.
I'm gonna get fucking. Let me be real.
Let me be clear.
Fucking kids, real quick.
Let me be clear.
You know, it drives me crazy because
So that went right over your head.
I really enjoy doing this show. I really enjoy doing this and being like a personality on this show. And I really want to do more video episodes. Like, I want to push for it and I want to do it. But I like every time we do the video episode, I fucking stare at myself in that recording. I can't watch them because I don't.
I
like
do
looking
too,
at
but I'm
myself.
skinny now, so I like it.
I used to be skinny. That's the thing that drives me crazy. Is like I've gotten fatter over the course of the show. But like I don't like looking. I don't like looking at myself.
Stavros.
And it's more than just a show. It's my own fucking life. I don't.
You need
I
a
wanna be in
Greek beach
pictures.
vacation.
Dude, I need a Greek beach.
You need a
vacation.
Greek beach vacation. Put a little thong on. Put a little speedo on.
You know, I know that there's many a man and many a woman in the world who like they own being a big ass and that they look good doing it. And I don't think I look terrible, but like I don't want to be a big ass, so it drives me crazy. It's like a thing I deal with every fucking day. I hate it. And so I'm taking the fucking Manjaro. Shout out my health insurance, by the way, for giving me the prior authorization on that. I wouldn't have done it. I worked for the insurance company. I would have said no. But but anyway, what else we got for this episode before we close it out?
That's it.
I do want to say, Chandran, there's a paragraph in here about 3 paragraphs in where you say dirty work, and I can just tell by the way the whole thing is written, you were thinking of Steely Dan the whole time.
You're gonna have to highlight. I can't. What are you talking about?
However, I can't bring myself to fully believe that humans are better off leaving the animals to their little world and using little robots to do all our dirty work. You said that, Tony Soprano voice. And
I refuse to do your dirty work.
The Donald Fagen voice, please. Thank you.
They told me Donald for what? All right.
So
well, this was a good one.
sometimes
Dirty work.
advancements in technology are good and you have to use them. but also we live under capitalism, so they're going to be bad in ways.
It's always going to be exploitative. In ways
It's always going to be bad because it's happening under capitalism. And unless it happens under an alternative system, life will have to keep getting better in ways that are also really bad in other ways forever. So,
Folks, the monkey episode became about communism again.
we did it again.
Do you have any thoughts on this concrete?
No, concrete's a
Okay,
baby.
well,
I don't think concrete
that's
has
okay.
thoughts on
Well,
the
one
basis.
final
It
reminder
smells
to
like baby powder. It's so nice.
Oh, that's sweet. One
go
final
smell
reminder
my
to
cats.
subscribe to our Patreon, because we already sort of did that plug.
Patreon.com/Gorilla Radio Show. Also, I haven't plugged this in a while, but please check out my other podcast that I do with a wonderful friend of this pod, John, over at Red Connections. So that's anywhere
John is on a
podcasts are
bonus
found,
episode.
Red Connections. And then you can also find us on our newly launched Patreon at patreon.com/Red Connections. We're a little bad at scheduling fucking shit, but we do have bonus episodes on there. So please check them out. Join the fucking crew. It's where I get really into the political stuff, and we try to be a little bit more theoretical and a little bit more structured with it.
I haven't listened to a single
check that out.
episode in
Podcast
boycotting
is on
you
for
because you didn't let me be on the India episode.
Well,
So
we gotta
I-
get you on for another one, by the way.
I'm boycotting Red Connections, actually. I don't know.
Actually,
if
I just
they're
gotta
not.
get both. We just all three of us gotta be on one.
Yeah.
So
True,
we
a little,
just get
Red
all of our-
Connections
Gotta get all of
takeover.
our prank shit out.
GRS takeover, Red
Um,
Connections. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But,
folks,
yeah.
let's wrap it up.
All right.
that
Well,
was a good
thank you
one.
all for listening.
It's been a wonderful episode, everybody. Thanks so much for listening, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Happy 9/11.
Unless
Goodbye.
the world ends.
Yeah, I mean, that could happen. Bye-bye, everyone.
I don't care.
Au revoir.
I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid.